Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to show you how we can configure the default browsers, right? So on the devices which are managed by Intune, and those are Entra joint devices as well, right? So now there would be a question, why do we need to manage, or do we really need to manage a specific browser? Because there are different requirements to it, right? When it comes to managing the browser, because browser is going to be the key application in these times, because each and every application is a web-based application. It's not a kind of applet or desktop-based applications, right? And that is why every application is built using the browser, right? Now, when it comes to the security, right, we need to make sure appropriate browser is also managed appropriately and it gets the right set of updates, and be it security update, quality updates, and any other updates that is going to keep the browser application as up to date with each and every brand new feature, along with security and compliance as well, right? And that is why we should do all the due diligence, be it setting up that browser as default one. Now there will be different questions and different issues based on the user experiences, because user would have different requirements to in order to access and open up any applications. For example, a particular application works only in the Google Chrome, but user has Edge browser as a default application on their profile or on their device, right? And that may not work as expected, and that is why we have to change that at one point, and the user would have to go ahead and change it, right? Or user has to use the Google Chrome instead of using Microsoft Edge browser, right? And that can be a case to case changes or case to case requirement, but for the whole organization, definitely we should take appropriate approach to deploy that and manage those as well, right? So that we can definitely go ahead and take the right set of actions in order to update applications and devices and everything together, right? And that is why this is very important too as well, right? So now I'm going to show you how we can set up the default browser for the whole managed devices from Entra. Those are the managed or Entra joint devices. Along with that, we would set up the Microsoft Edge browser as a default one. Even we can set up the Google Chrome as well. So it depends on what browser applications or we wanted to set it up, right? So let me share my screen, and I'm going to show you how we can go ahead and create a policy, and that policy is going to be deployed on the endpoints, right? And that way it should be uh, deployed across, right? All right. So to do that, here are the different XML templates that we have to add. And this, I'm going to create a custom OMA URI policy or custom policy basically. And I'm going to put these different XML file details, which is going to mark and consider that respective browser as a default one, right? So here is the code for Google Chrome browser, right? And here is the code for Microsoft Edge browser. Even we can do the same for other browsers as well, but definitely it is going to be depend on that respective application, right? We all know that these are the two browsers which are being used across different organizations and basis on their needs and requirements. But depending on their requirement and usage, we can definitely change and use those as well, right? All right, so let's go ahead and create a policy. So I'll just go to Intune and show you how we can go ahead and create a policy, right? So first we need to go to Intune portal, and from here, uh, I'll just walk you through from devices section till the configurations and then start policy creation, right? Okay, let's wait. Okay, so this is opening on the Windows, on the devices section, then Windows, right? And then we have configurations here. So this is going to be configuration policy, right? And by creating this policy, we would attach all those workload or all those code, right, which I showed you there. And that's going to allow us to create this policy, right? Okay, it seems taking a bit of time to let me refresh this page, and we should be good here to see the change. All right. Let's create a policy. Okay, that is still yet to load. New policy, and then once it is loaded, just select the platform understanding later, then templates. From here, we are going to select custom one. So custom one is going to allow us to set up this policy with OMA URI, right? So I'm going to give it a name here. So this is the default name. Let's say set default browser policy, right? Then click next. So here is the OMA URI that we need to add, right? So I'm going to give it the same name and description, but we need to add this OMA URI that's going to be added over here. And from here, we need to select string because we need to put that value over here. Even we have an option to string XML file that can be attached, or we can just copy and paste it here, and then this should also work. But I'm going to select the string, which is going to be straightforward, and as that's a simple straightforward code, right? So we can simply select this one because I'm going to select this one, Google Chrome code. Why? Because by default, if you have used and seen, Microsoft Edge browser becomes the default browser for all of the user access levels, experiences, and everything, because that comes with Windows enrollment or device enrollment with Intune and Enter ID. Also, it provides the single sign-on capability at the same time in the same browser, and that is why that's the default one. And there are many other factors behind that which are automatically setting it up, right? So for now, I'm going to set up the Google Chrome so that if there are such requirements where we wanted to set up Google Chrome, then we should be able to do that as well, right? So that's it. Let's add a value over here and save this setting, right? Once we save it, we would see something like this one. Now, this OMA URI is a longer string, and that is why it is not going to show completely and given on this string value as well. But we should be able to edit or delete if in case we wanted to make any changes there. Click next. Once we are good here, we are here under the scopes or scope tags. We can add any tags if in case we wanted to filter it out and differentiate. If not, we should be good here too. And then on the next one, we have options to assign this policy. Either add or assign specific group, all users or all devices. So I'm going to target all devices for now. And then definitely we can go ahead and change it later as and when as per needs and requirements. Click next. Here's the applicable rule or applicability rules wherever we wanted to push out this policy basis on their respective of OS edition or OS versions, right? And where this rule is going to be applicable, assign profile if the OS version is matching particular value over here that we are going to set up, then it's going to be targeting all that operating systems. But for now, I'm not going to target any of those versions or editions, as I wanted to target each and every device across the environment. Right? Click next to review the policy, and once we review, we would see the policy and whatever the changes we have made wherever it assigned, right? And we would see the OMA URI and everything. And once we go ahead and create this policy. So let's create one. And this is going to create a policy. Perfect. So policy is created. We can see that. I think just refresh the page. And we should be able to see that. Okay, I think it best set default one. Okay, so this is the policy you can see, right, which is set. And once we are here, we can go ahead and see that policy, right? So now the policy is created successfully. And I have assigned it to all devices as well. So I have devices running over here in the VMware VirtualBox or virtual workstations, right? So it's going to take definitely a time to synchronize with the device, and it may take more time. Probably I will just log into it and probably I will close it out. All right. And on the Windows 11 device, okay, that is, I think it is in sleep mode. But on the Windows one, let me open up CMD prompt. And from here, we can at least try to sign up. Seems it's just taking time to load here. Okay, this is the Edge browser. I'm just trying to synchronize this so that the policy is going to change as soon as possible. And it should reflect the change. Now it might take time as well, right? And it will simply, probably we can just go to Intune portal and under devices section, and from there we can synchronize the device as well, right? So that's going to be manual sync, but yeah, that's another way to speed up this process for the devices to hasten the process. Okay, that's GP update. Slash force. Okay, so let the policy run. Also, I'll do the same from Intune portal so that it catches the updates and changes, including the assigned policy, so that it has to pick up whatever is coming, right? And based on that, it should pick up. Now, it might take more time or extra time as well, because as I said, as soon as the device is successfully synchronized, or sometimes it needs the device to be rebooted or restarted as well to pick up that changes, right? So I'll just reboot as well to speed up this process. Okay, I think let me restart this one. All right, let me go here and just reset a password for this user. I think it is not accepting the password, and It is still restarting. Okay. Now the policy might show synchronization on this devices as well, but as it takes some time to synchronize, right? And that could be the reason that it is not going to immediately show up, but definitely after some time, it is going to show that change over here, whether it is succeed, error, unpicked, or it's not applicable, something like that, right? So basis on all of that factors, this policy is going to be deployed and show the results, whatever the result is going to be, right? Okay, this is starting. Okay, this is still restarting. All right, all right. Let's give it a minute or two so it should complete the restart. Hmm. Okay, so this ran into a problem. Since we need to restart it again. Okay, so I'll just shut it down for now and power it on back. Okay, let's see. It's reloading. That's strange. Even Windows 11 also has problem, right? Okay, seems both OS has a problem, which is that K mode exception not handled. Okay. Okay, so seems there's a OS level issue, and that is why it's not coming up. But the policy which I showed you, that's going to be the correct one, right? And if I'm going to keep it continue, right? So it's going to make a longer video, right? And that's not going to be the, or that's not right way to just keep doing the video longer and longer, right? So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you and talk about and how you can go ahead and configure it, right? And this should be pretty easy and straightforward as I'm trying to test it in virtual machine, but virtual machine or this device is not working and something is broken there. So I'll have to fix that one. But definitely to try it on your test machine and test environment and see how that works. and I would be happy to answer any questions and work, collaborate on anything that you wanted to know and understand, right? So yeah, that's all I wanted to show you in this video. Also, don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends and people around you so that they can also learn. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well, right? So that's going to give you and show you every new video, whichever or whenever it is uploaded, right? So yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.